Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel, The Mustard Butterfly, a home for good, a home for change, a home for women. I'm Doyne and you often find me here. If this is your first time coming across our channel, we are a holistic health hub sharing the joy of eating well, knowing God and embracing the right mindset. This month we're exploring intentionality. What does it mean to live intentionally, living on purpose, living deliberately, choosing the life you want to live? And in the last video I shared a practice of mine that I do ever so often called taking stock, taking an inventory of your life. And in this video I want to share with you my step-by-step guide to living intentionally. And the first one is plan and prepare. Now I wasn't always good at planning, but I'm definitely working my way up in that direction, and I've seen the benefits. It's so important to have a plan. And what I do, I have a plan, an idea of maybe what I want to do, or a change that I want to create, a habit that I want to form. And so I have a plan, and then I speak to God about my plan. Always I speak to God because I have my ideas on how I want it to go, but ultimately I know that I need God's input, because He is the one that literally orders the day. And no matter what I do, if for instance there was, I don't know, like COVID, there's a lockdown, how do I then move forward with my plans that involves me going out? So I speak to God about my plans, and then when I speak to God, usually going to the Bible, because that's His word, that's His main way of speaking to us. So I go into the Bible, I find out what the Bible says. I just try to spend even more time with Him to find out how to go about this plan. And when I feel like I've gotten a word, then I write it down. I try to just scribble. Again, this is not something that I've always done, but it's something that I'm growing to do more. And I've seen the major benefits, because usually I just keep it in my mind, like, I want to do this, and this is the strategy, this is the plan. But the difference between writing it down and keeping it in here is that when I write it down, it takes space off of what's here. So it's like I'm offloading it onto a piece of paper, and somehow it allows me to, I get to do it. It's like I remember that I've written it down. So actually it's a better way to remember my plans, if that makes sense. So yeah, I write it down, but also when I write it down, I break it into chunks, because I break it into bite-sized, like manageable segments that I can then approach, bit by bit. And so that's planning. But also in the planning stage, in the past, I would just I'll be in a rush to just get moving. But I think now I've realized that planning takes just a bit more it should take a bit more time, because that's the main thing. I think once you have a good plan and you have a strategy, then the action that follows is just as a result of how good the plan was. So that's planning. And the second one is to let go. Now, with each plan comes an additional task, and it's very important that I'm mindful that when I'm adding something, I'm also taking something away, usually. So and most times I'm so I don't know, there's something about attachment, just not wanting to let go of things. But I'm learning that it's very important to be able to put things aside, because just like with taking an inventory, right, some things are expired and they don't need to be restocked. Some things just need to go for now. some things were never good anyway, so they should have never been there, so they just need to go completely. And that's to do with everything. That's to do with even relationships, that's to do with habits. It's to do with it applies to every aspect of whatever it is, whatever change that you're trying to create, or whatever it is that you're trying to start, whatever goals that you have. It's very important to know when to let go, or know that you should let go. And also, there are different seasons in our lives generally, and for each season there is like there's a particular tool or particular perspective that we need. So trying to like pull the tools and perspective from previous seasons, it wouldn't work for that particular season. And it's quite sad, because we've got these amazing plans, but we've got the wrong tools to implement them. So it's very, very important to let go of just let go in that moment. Everything can go, just to make room for the new. What happens is, when you don't let go as well, is that it gets too stressful for your mind all at once. Because remember, you need to also leave room for this new way, leave that adjustment room, and then obviously for the newer things, the new activities that you're going to do. So that's how I go about it. I just these days I'm very quick to let go of anything that's just not needed in the moment. And the third one is move. I know you're thinking, duh. But honestly, for me, I can spend so much time just thinking of the thing and just imagining it, and just thinking of how good it will make me feel, or how good it will be, or just whatever it is. I remember when I would try different diets back then, and I would, on day one, I would be thinking of, the end, or even what I'm going to eat on day 10. And what that does is, and I know why it's so easy to get in that space, because thinking of it creates excitement in your brain. It creates like exciting signals in your brain, and that can be quite addictive in a way. Like, you just want to carry on being excited. And when it comes to now doing it, it's not the same kind of excitement. So we get stuck. It's so easy to get stuck in the thinking, because you're just like, it brings it comes with a good feeling, whereas the doing is not always as interesting, because the doing then becomes like very taskful and sometimes mundane. So it's very important to make a move. Very, very, very important. Like, stop yourself in your thinking track and just one step at a time. And that's another thing. When you're making a move, there's no need to like put everything all in one day. Remember what I said about putting the plans into bite-sized bits. What that does is, every day, like, we have 24 hours in a day, there's already enough that day is going to bring. There's a lot of stresses, there's a lot of things that can happen in that day. So trying to bring in the stress of tomorrow and next tomorrow and the day after that into one day is so detrimental for our mental health. And that, unfortunately, is what the world has sold to us, that doing so many things all at once very quickly. I realized the other day, there's no need to rush through this life. I think the best thing is to live well every day and just leave the rest to God. So, and I think as well that God has given us a gift, a very precious gift of being present. It's not the same as what the world tells us, but God tells us, like, He has given us, I believe He's given us that as a gift. And because what that does is, it allows you to enjoy as well the process when you're being present. Because when you're not, you're just there's a pressure of the next thing. But being present allows you to enjoy, and it allows you to actually see other things that you might have missed along the way. So, like, for me right now, I'm studying, and yes, the end goal is a qualification, and the end goal is to qualify as an accountant. But what I'm learning is so much more. I'm learning so much more. I'm learning how how to assimilate information. I'm learning discipline. I'm learning how to study as well. I'm learning that you don't have to, you know, do everything at once. I'm learning so much. I'm learning how to balance. I'm learning how to get more focused in my thinking. So many things. It's just a whole bunch of things that you learn from being present. But usually my normal self, I just wanna, there's a real I have something about just rushing through things, and I don't know if it's because of maybe how I was brought up, and there was just always a hurry up and eat fast and everything quick. Well, now I've realized there's no need to. As long as, you know, you are making a move, doesn't matter how slow you're moving, but you're making a move, and before you know it, without the added stresses, you've completed that goal. You've created that change without the added stresses. Now, everyone's different, of course, with how everyone works, but this is what works for me, and I believe it's what's good for our health, because remember, stress and our health just does not go well together. So I hope that has helped maybe shed some light on the things that you want to be intentional about, the changes you want to see. Maybe you can learn a thing or two from that. And if you have liked this video, please like it, share it with a friend, and leave a comment as well. Share with us what one thing you want to be more intentional about this month. And yeah, let's just keep this community going. And yeah, please subscribe as well to see more of our videos, and I will see you next time. Bye.